What's up? The patch itself feels like one of those steady, no-fuss updates that doesn't reinvent anything, but quietly irons out the small things that can turn a decent session into a frustrating one. And the notes made it clear the devs were focusing on stabilizing the live service and addressing some very specific, annoying edge cases that players reported. One of the more tangible fixes you might experience immediately is at Bahrain. The team fixed a tiny but impactful issue with the outside rumble strip at turn 10 that could unsettle cars with certain setups. If you've been losing the rear on exit there, that behavior should be much less common now, and that change alone smooths out a few otherwise unpredictable laps for setups that ride the limit. The update also continues the broader sweep of platform-specific fixes and stability work that's been a recurring theme across recent patches, ranging from controller and wheel compatibility adjustments to fixes for mid-session save quirks on certain consoles and visual or HDR oddities that could confuse players when the weather changed mid-session. Think of it as the team cleaning up the edge cases so your races feel fairer and less glitchy. On the online and live service side, the patch notes make it plain the developers are still actively supporting the Podium Pass system and the seasonal content flow. Season 5 content and refreshed pass rewards are running alongside these fixes, so the update is balancing both gameplay fidelity and the seasonal reward experience. There was also a noteworthy customer-facing fix for players who reached the top tier of the Podium Pass in prior seasons but didn't receive the expected level 50 cosmetic rewards. Affected players will have those missing items delivered via the in-game mailbox following the service's update, which is a tidy way to ensure folks who earned those unlocks get credited for their time on track. If you were one of the unlucky few who missed out on a level 50 drop, check your in-game messages after you've installed the patch. Beyond those headline items, the patch contains a smattering of user-reported fixes that together make the game feel more consistent. Things like duplicate track limit warnings being reduced so you don't get spammed for a single incident, tweaks to radar and timing rules that affect how penalties are detected and applied, and a stack of peripheral fixes that improve compatibility for a range of wheels and controllers on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Those little quality of life changes rarely make the front page of patch notes, but they have an outsized effect on how smoothly a long career save or an online league session runs. If you're on PC, there are also mentions of some graphics and performance adjustments in the recent patch cadence. Settings behavior in menus was nudged so HDR choices behave more predictably on consoles. Some trackside markings that could confuse the penalty system were adjusted. And there's been ongoing work to make upscaling and frame generation features play nicer with the engine on supported hardware. Those items matter if you're chasing frame time consistency or using advanced visual tech, because visual quirks in rain or weird HDR interactions can change how you judge breaking points in wet conditions. The net result of the V1117 changes is a smoother baseline experience. The title isn't receiving any sweeping gameplay overhauls with this drop, but it's getting the sort of incremental maintenance that keeps a racing sim feeling tight. From a competitive standpoint, that means setups that rely on edge-of-grip behavior will behave more predictably, and race organizers running leagues should find fewer surprise disconnects or issues when collecting session data. The developers have been iterating on multiplayer systems alongside bug fixes for several updates now. Community feedback clearly guided much of this work. The team has been triaging reports from forums and social channels, picking the most reproducible problems, and rolling them into these smaller updates so the live seasons and event rotations can keep moving without breaking players' progress or saved careers. The communication around the patch keeps the language straightforward, which helps players know exactly what to check after installing, whether that's opening your message inbox for retroactive rewards, running a few hot laps at Bahrain to see if turn 10 behaves, or making sure your wheel input feels right in a quick session. All in all, this update is the kind of focused polish pass that reflects a mature live service approach. Short, targeted fixes that address both the competitive simulation side and the seasonal content side, with an emphasis on fairness and stability over big headline features. If you've noticed fewer odd penalties, more stable weather transitions, or found a missing cosmetic suddenly waiting for you in-game, those are direct results of the work that went into this patch.